Dan.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, great. I'm in San Francisco. Where are you?
The parking lot, Louisville,
In the
Kentucky.
parking lot.
My mobile office.
In the mobile office? Yeah. Over at what? In Kentucky?
Yep, Louisville, Kentucky.
I love it.
Bluegrass State.
I love it. So I'm so happy that you got to spend some time with us to talk about, because I'm always curious of like how everybody got into child nutrition, and you have so much knowledge in that beautiful brain of yours, and I would like to pick at it, but I want you to tell me your story. Like, how did you get into child nutrition?
So it's one of those, it's interesting because I talk to people from all over the country too.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're sitting around and you say, how'd you get into this? What's your background? And everybody's like, well, I got a story. Everybody's got a story. And it usually doesn't start with, I wanted to be a lunch lady, right? So mine is a little weird. I guess I have to go back to high school. I was actually a student serving on the serving line my freshman year in high school. And I loved the lunch ladies, and they loved us. And there was always cookies, or you always got an extra grilled cheese sandwich or whatever. My favorite was the big greasy grilled cheese sandwich with chili day. Yeah. So and now here I am, umpteen years later, and I'm working in the industry. Who'd have thought, right?
I know.
So I started my career as a health inspector. And I got to know our child nutrition director in the county that I worked in when they opened a school without a permit. And she thought that the contractor was supposed to be responsible, and the contractor thought she was supposed to be responsible. Mm-hmm. And so Pam Casey, I'll throw her out there. Pam, if you ever see this, hi. She called, and I was like, what? New school? What? I didn't know that was going on. Yeah. And so they were renovating the kitchen. And so that's how we kind of got started. And, I ended up doing their back to school in-service every year after that. And so I got really close with them. And then one of their vendors, Michael Miller, you probably know Michael. He's with SFS PAC. They just got the Jefferson County account. One which is right across the river from where I was working. And he was talking to her and said, we need to add some person. And she said, hey, I got the guy for you. And I don't know if he's looking, and one thing led to another, and I went to work for them. And so I worked for them for a couple of years, working in Ohio and Kentucky and Indiana. And then a position came open in Jefferson County, and they said it was food safety and equipment procurement, design, all that kind of stuff. And so we've got 147 schools. We got a coordinator for every area, so we're kind of large. I'm envious of those nutrition directors, and I don't know how they do it, who are just one person, wearing all the hats. But anyway, so a position opened up. They made me an offer, and I came over there, and it was almost 15 years ago. So yeah, so I did the food safety thing and equipment procurement and kitchen design, all that kind of stuff, which I had a background in working at the health department because I was their chief food specialist guy. And then 6 years ago, I went over to our nutrition center, which is central kitchen and warehouse and all that. And I became the assistant director over there. And that's where I've been for the last 6 years.
My God,
so,
dude, look at
kind of one of those routes that kind of do this,
It is. And you know what? It's like the universe just bringing you to where you're meant to be. I truly believe that. And you're meant to be wherever you are if you were over there, but you're meant to be here. And your big brain, you have so many ideas and creativity. Like, you're helping your community, feed all these kids throughout all this craziness. And I was watching you on the Zoom when you were talking. Oh my God, everybody was just jotting down stuff. It's so amazing, all the sharing. So what keeps you in for all these years? What keeps you going?
It's every person I talk to in child nutrition, and this because you talk to them too. Once you get hooked, you're in. Right? It's one of those, and even industry folks, they come to it and they're like, oh, I'm just selling some food. And they may have been doing something else for a while. And then they come to the K-12 segment because somebody left and they said, well, you can do that too, right? That's usually the way it works. Oh yeah, it's just child nutrition, it's nothing. And then they get, boom, hooked. It's the people, it's the people. The kids, I love the kids, but the people in this industry are just so passionate.
Yeah.
They're so authentic.
Yes.
That's the thing that really gets me. And even our vendors, like you get so hooked into what we do, and it's feeding kids.
Yep.
And it's the community thing, and it's just that so many special people that are involved. That's what keeps me in. It's it's why you do it. I mean, there's long days. I tell people, it's 24/7, 365 kind of job.
Oh yeah. It is. And it's like, look at us trying to help the government improve, the laws so we can feed kids easier. I think that would be awesome. I know we're slowly moving towards there. And I think this COVID is teaching us, to just rethink just a little bit, like, hey, it's a smart idea. We just got to figure out the kinks, the logistics and everything, right? The funding. But I believe it like this. I believe it. We can do it. That's my recipe book, Dan. I
like it.
I wanted to do some fun, things with you next time. Like if you go in the kitchen, maybe we can cook up one of these, like World War II recipes. I just know there's a lot of
the Rosie the Riveter thing. It's that was World War II, right?
Yeah.
And most people don't realize this all came out of the war effort.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And most people think it's feeding kids. The big thing about child nutrition, it's about buying farm products. It's about the farmers. Yeah. It's about keeping the economy going.
Yeah.
And we saw that when the schools closed, right?
Yes.
When schools closed up in March, the whole food supply chain just blew up. And, it's like, duh, this is why this was created. It's so that there's an avenue, and you're feeding kids. And a healthy kid, guess what? A healthy kid is good for the economy. It's good for the workforce.
Exactly.
It helps you defend the nation.
The future
and so that's why the whole reason we're here.
The adults, right? When they become adults, so active citizens, right? And so that's the thing. It's that beautiful. What is it? Sing with me, Dan. In the circle of life.
You don't want me to sing. I got a day job.
You're not singing.
I got a day job. You're good. You don't want to hear me sing.
I love it. So tell me, how and what do you do when you're stressed? Like when you're stressing, when everything, like the district is coming down. Dan, you got to do this. Dan, we got to change this. Dan, we got to flip it tomorrow. Boom. And you feel a little stressed. Like, how do you deal with that?
So, I'm one of those people that when the stuff hits the fan, and not everybody's this way, I get more calm. I focus. And then when the pressure's off, that's when I go, I'm good in the moment, right? But my stress relief, two things. One is I do meditate.
Oh, yeah.
I meditate. I clear my mind, and I think that anybody, and it doesn't have to be a religious thing.
No.
This is a health thing. This is a brain thing. Mm-hmm. And being able to practice focusing, practice emptying your mind, that chattering monkey that's back in the back of your head that's telling you can't do this or you should have done that and all that thing. I struggle with that like everybody else. I'll get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'll have a conversation that I'm going to have with somebody 3 or 4 times in my head or 500 times in my head, right? You're running it through. Yeah. So there's nobody that's perfect on it. So, but it helps. It definitely helps. The second thing I do is cook.
Yes.
I love cooking. And I know you do too.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's like, that's why I'm always posted on Facebook and stuff, and people are like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? And I'm like, number one, I love to do it. Yeah. My mom always used to say, if you love to eat, you've got the basis for be a good cook. So,
love it.
And I know there's some people out there that don't love to eat. And I'm like, that's okay. That's cool. But if you love to eat, you get the basis for being a good cook.
Yeah.
And so I meal prep on Sundays. That's my time. I go
Ooh.
grocery shopping,
Yeah.
and I do all the kind of meal prep. So when I get home, I just like cook up some rice, steam some broccoli, and it's already done.
Ooh.
20 minutes, boom, there's dinner.
Done.
And now when my wife was off during the summer and everything with the pandemic and stuff, I didn't get to cook as much, but I'm back at it. So, that is a big stress reliever.
Ooh, any favorite like things you're playing with? Like, are you experimenting?
Yeah. So and that's funny because I'll post something, like last night I did chicken shawarma on the grill. And I love anything with flavor. I don't care what kind of cuisine it is.
Yep.
I love Indian food because it's really flavorful. Although the bad thing with Indian food is it's either yellow, orange, or red.
Red, yeah.
You fix anything, but it's usually one of those three. It might taste different, but it doesn't really matter what the cuisine is. I love anything with flavor. But like people will go, "Oh yeah, that looks great. Give me the recipe," and I'm like, I kind of like operate off of Chopped.
Yeah.
I open up the refrigerator and I go, what have I got in here that, you
Yeah.
just kind of gotta. I love Alton Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Because he goes through and he talks about like having a formula. A good sandwich, you can use all the different kinds of ingredients, but you got to pair the right bread with the right veg with the right sauce, and you put those together, and it could be any combination of those as long as you kind of know the formula for something.
Yeah.
I teach. I've been in Boy Scouts since I was wee big.
Aww.
And I teach cooking merit badge. And so I teach the kids, I'm like, stew, right? You got your base, and then you've got your meat, and then you've got your veg, and you got your thickener. And so you look at every cuisine has got a stew, right? So you've got Korean, you've got Indian, you've got Italian, you've got American, but it's all the same formula.
Yes.
So it's just the different ingredients. So if you know the formula for whatever you're wanting to cook, then it really doesn't matter. You can just grab this, that, and the other thing, throw it all together, and it all tastes great.
Yeah, throw it in a pot. I love it. It's so easy, right? And so, oh man, see, I love that, you get to share all these beautiful things with everyone. And because it's so important right now, everybody that, I'm talking to, they're feeling different, and the stress of like, not hugging people and not seeing the kiddos like come through the line.
It's hard.
That is the biggest, that's our heart right there. That's our like little like tidbits of sunshine and Skittles, I call it, like rainbows, and when that's missing, a part of us just, it's uneasy, and so like,
that's the thing with the curbside that I talked to everybody when we were doing that. They just wanted to see their kids. We closed in March, and only a few of our sites, we had only about 44 sites that were doing curbside, and now we've got everybody back. We got like 130 sites, and so that's the thing. They're wanting to see their kiddos again. That's the part that really is tough.
And we'll get through it. We'll figure it out, won't we? Mm-hmm.
Well, as our governor here in Kentucky, he starts his press conferences with, "We'll get through it. We'll get through it together."
Yes, exactly. I love it, Dan. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and share your beautiful story and your beautiful brain.
Don't butter up if my head gets any bigger, I won't be able to walk through the door. So that's
okay. We love it. The bigger, the better, because then we can pick more at your brain. So have fun. I will call you later.
All right. Good talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.